your goal is to get better at your sport, there's only two things that you really want to do to make that happen. One, train your actual sport. Do your literal sport, whether that's fighting, running, biking, football, whatever it is, you need to do that exact sport to improve your ability to do that sport. If someone's played football for 10 years, they're going to be better at football than somebody who's just gone to the gym for 10 years or Olympic lifted for 10 years or worked with whatever strength conditioning high-end coach you want to think of. If they worked with that coach in a gym versus someone who actually played football, the person who played football is going to be better at football. That's just specificity. So that's a skill and specificity. So you want to train by playing your actual sport, whatever that might be. Second thing, you want to improve your muscle strength, ability to produce force, right? So that is where you go to a gym. And when you go to a gym, you lift weights or you move your body weight, whatever, or use machines, whatever type of resistance modality you want to use. It's completely up to you and what you have available to you. The goal is to target the muscles of your body, the muscles involved in your sport. But most likely you're going to want to target all the muscles in your body so that you can be a well-rounded athlete, be more injury resistant, be stronger as a person. So you want to target probably all your muscles. That's kind of the point of going to the gym. And this can only transfer to a sport through increasing your muscle strength. Now, when I say muscle strength, I'm not saying powerlifting, 1 rep max or 5 rep max or any of that. All I'm saying is progressive overload. So if you go from your 10 reps being with 30 pounds and you increase it to using 40 pounds for 10 reps, that is getting stronger. That is your muscle improving, provided the repetitions were performed the exact same, the set duration was about the same. You can say for sure that you have progressed in the gym, that you have increased your muscle strength and probably size. So that is the point of a gym, and that is what you're doing with weights. I understand that other people can have other goals and whatnot, but when you're in the gym, everyone's goal is pretty much the exact same. Trying to paint a broad brush here. This is really the whole point of moving weights, is to target your muscles. It's not vain. It's not bodybuilding. It's not you're not being proud or prideful to target your muscles and to strengthen your body. That is a good thing. That is a healthy thing. Whether you're an athlete, a regular person, those are all great goals to have. And that's what weights are used for, and that's how the muscles respond to the weights. The muscles respond to constant tension, putting them under load, under stress, while you are contracting them. So when you understand that the point of training a muscle with weights or any type of resistance is to push yourself, push your muscle's ability to contract until it is exhausted, right? Until it cannot contract and hold the weight up any longer. That is how you know you have fully stimulated a muscle. So when you understand this, you understand that, hey, anything that takes away from my muscle's ability to reach that exhaustion point makes the exercise less efficient, right? It makes it take longer. So, example, you want to perform bicep curls, right? Not to transfer to a sport or anything like that, but just to get a stronger muscle, right? So you perform bicep curls. Which do you think would be more efficient and effective? So if you did constant loading of your muscles, slow and controlled, all the way down, all the way up, or doing one curl and then resting for 10 seconds, do another curl, rest for 10 seconds, do another curl, rest for 10 seconds, which do you think is more efficient? Which is going to get you to your goal and the goal of the muscle, which is to be fully recruited and exhausted more efficiently? Obviously, the exercise that you are constantly loading and producing force with that tension. with the exercise. If you are just resting 10 seconds between bicep curls, that's very inefficient. Your bicep will be recovering during those 10 seconds, and you're not gonna deeply inroad the muscle as efficiently. It's gonna take you way more time, way more repetitions than if you kept the repetitions continuous. So think about this when you think about exercises that you see in the gym. A lot of people rest between reps. They either rest in the fully extended position or the fully stretched position. Example, squats. A lot of people rest when they're standing up with the bar on their back between reps. They'll rest 5 seconds or more between reps. You are letting your legs recover when you do that. But it's difficult, right? It's difficult to continuously load a muscle, to deeply fatigue it like that. It's not comfortable. It's not something that comes natural to us. We have to work at our ability to train as hard as possible, right? You don't want to avoid the hard parts of the exercise. You want to embrace them, continue to maintain your posture, your control, and your form. So when you understand that, you can more readily assess exercises and see the flaws in exercises that make them less effective, less efficient. So take, doing a 1-arm cable row versus 2-arm cable row, right? What is more efficient? Well, time efficient would be using both arms at the same time. There is no special benefits to using one arm at a time. This has been founded in research over the last several decades. There is no special benefits using one arm at a time or one leg at a time. And then when it comes to being productive and being effective, they're both effective. Okay, so if you do that exercise for 10 years, it's going to be just as effective, right? If you did one arm and then rested after the set and did the other arm, that's going to be just as effective in 10 years. It's not as efficient, but it's going to end up being just as effective. So effective and efficient are two different things. But something that would be less effective as well would probably be something like a resistance band row, right? Now you are losing the tension as you eccentrically extend your arms in a row. Your back is unloaded, right? Because you are unloading the tension with the resistance band as it gets unstretched, right? As you stretch it and contract it, then you're loading your back more, but you're unloading it during the eccentric portion. So that probably will be less effective over time if that was your only way that you perform rows. So this is just a quick dive into exercise effectiveness and exercise efficiency. If I were you, I would want my workouts to be as effective as possible and as efficient as possible. That is what I aim to do. If you want to see exercises and routines in which I perform them as efficient and as effective as possible, you can check out my YouTube channel. You can check out my Instagram page. You will find plenty of videos of me performing exercises efficient, effectively, and safely as possible, right? If there's two exercises and one is safer than the other, you're going to want to choose the safer one. Why? Because we are not bulletproof, because we have joints, tendons, connective tissue across our body that can get damaged due to repeated stress. So you want to choose a safe exercise, not a ballistic exercise, not an exercise that causes shearing forces on your joints, on your tendons. You want to move in a controlled manner in the gym. It's not going to cross wires. It's not going to make your body slow on the field because you were moved slow and controlled in the gym. That's not even close. It's not even the same thing. Your body would be really dumb if it got that confused and made you a slower athlete because you trained with slow and controlled tempo in the gym. That'd be really bad. Now, if your sport is powerlifting, if your sport is CrossFit or whatever, then yeah, you have to train that exact sport. You have to train that, and it just so happens to be in a gym, but you will have to do those movements fast and those movements come with inherent risk of injury. But these athletes understand that when they undertake these sports, that, hey, I'm competing, I'm going to push my body as hard as possible, and they're going to assume the risk of injury. However, you and I and other people that go into the gym, especially when the gym and it's not our sport, right? It's not a competitive sport to us. We need to make sure that we do train as safe as possible, right? You're not going to program for an entire team of athletes to jump up and down on boxes, right? Hard wooden boxes, because some of them are going to fall. That's just statistics, right? Some of them are going to miss the box and smash their shins on it, right? So now you're going to be out a couple athletes. Some of them are going to have knee pain the next day. Now you're going to be out a couple athletes. You see what I'm saying? There are ways to train that are dangerous and that can get you injured way faster than if you did a slow and controlled movement to failure. So hopefully this helped you understand what the gym is all about, how your muscles are most optimally stimulated, how they want to be stimulated, and it doesn't involve injury, ballistic movements. It involves safe, controlled, effective, and efficient loading of your muscles so that you can deeply inroad them and exhaust them. That will stimulate all the muscle fibers to grow, to get bigger, stronger, and more explosive in your sport because of the transfer of muscular strength.